Simple, easy, awesome. Get our best deal of the year with DVR service free for a year and even more speed. Plus, ask how to save on your wireless bill when you include Xfinity Mobile with your internet. Click, call, or visit us today.
Hurricane Florence could mean more rain for us next week. See the D.C. spots most susceptible to flooding.
It's a different story in the Carolinas, where millions could see life-threatening storm surge and torrential rains.
More than 1 million people told to evacuate the coast, but what about those who didn't? Will they be arrested? We'll verify.
Plus, a D.C. elected official on edge after she was assaulted in her own backyard. And a rare look at the spacesuits worn during the first moon landing. The News at 11 team is ready. Let's get started. Right now, 10 million people are under watches or warnings for Hurricane Florence. A public health emergency has also been declared in Virginia. D.C. isn't going to see the worst of the storm, but our friends to the south sure will. Tonight, we have crews across the southeast coast. Right now, many people on the Outer Banks aren't leaving and instead are preparing their homes for the storm. In Wilmington, some gas stations are running out of fuel, and parts of Myrtle Beach are a ghost town. We continue to give you the latest storm information on the bottom of your screen, but first, Hopper has the latest on this powerful storm.
All right, Leslie, we have some good news. It's weakened again. Winds are down to 110 miles per hour, so it's now a Category 2. And the new hurricane forecast track, which is just in, is actually going to make it have landfall around a Category 2. That's an improvement. Still a very dangerous storm, yes, but at least we're going in the right direction. Landfall probably early morning on Friday, even Friday at 7:30, still a Category 2 right over Wilmington. And then it becomes just a tropical storm by the time we get to Friday night with winds of 70 miles per hour. And then it continues to race a little faster off to the south and then eventually northeast and northwest as it goes up toward Knoxville and into Kentucky. So for us, no real change. For the Carolinas, no change in terms of the warnings. Hurricane warnings still cover the same areas, but the good news is it's not strengthening, and right now it's forecast to be either a high-end Category 2 or a low-end Category 3 as it makes landfall Friday morning. So that is the best news we could really hope for, and pressure's been jumping up consistently over the last several advisories. For us, rainfall all the way through Sunday night, only 57 hundredths. There's your bullseye, 26 inches in Wilmington. And then this model, this European model, does bring some significant rain to our area, but not until next week. Like Tuesday and Wednesday, we get 1, 2, 3 inches of rain. GFS not as aggressive through Sunday, only about 5,700. So the weekend looks okay for us, but look at this, 26 inches again in Wilmington. And in terms of the remnants, not as aggressive with the remnants next week for the GFS, maybe an inch or two, but not as aggressive at all. So here we go, 82 tomorrow, a few showers and storms, 80 on Friday. Yes, yellow weather alert on Friday. Saturday, a few storms, but not a washout, 82. We will come back. We'll show you a spectacular picture of the storm from space and show you just how big that storm is and talk about some coastal flooding in our area.
All right, Top. At one point today, the National Hurricane Center said some of the wave heights from Florence had reached 83 feet. So let's put that into perspective. This is an 80-foot wave, and the guy riding it was awarded the Guinness Book of World Records for, you know, the biggest wave surf ever surfed. So let's compare the height there to a building you know. The National Archives building here in D.C. is 166 feet tall. So those Florence waves were about half the height of this building. And while the storm isn't really headed our way, we could get plenty of rain in the next week, as Top says. And John Henry looks at the D.C. areas at the highest risk for flooding.
So you should be aware of the good news by now. What was uncertain at the beginning of the week, we now have a lot more clarity on. The impact of Hurricane Florence to the D.C. area should be minimal. That said, we could still get showers this weekend, and with the ground still being saturated from last week's storms, we thought now would be a good time to remind you of some of the flood-prone roads in our area. So I thought we'd take you to some of the places where reporters and photographers here at WSA 9 see the most flooding. First up, the District of Columbia. There are a lot of places in the district where it floods. Here are a few on your screen. Not listed on your screen are the roads that go in and out of Rock Creek Park. You may remember this scene around Broad Branch and Beach Drive earlier this summer. Next up, Montgomery County. There are sites that flood all over that county, north and south.